Today is the day I'd look to find some new shock absorbers for the car. This could be a real challenge. Before I head to town, though, I put the drone up and took a morning walk. Looking around, I'm reminded of a comment in a Facebook forum I seen the other day about the trash situation in the Philippines. While it's hard for anyone to make a nationwide assessment on whether the situation here is improving, I can affirm that there has been some improvement in our barangay. Because the garbage collectors had such a hard time navigating the big truck around the small barangay, the village created a drop-off bin just on the outskirts of the village. The garbage does tend to get piled up from time to time, and when it's full, people just set their bags on the ground right next to the bin, which just invites the hungry dogs for closer inspection. And they will tear things up a bit and strew things around looking for something to eat. Any bags ripped open and any trash on the ground will not be picked up by the truck driver or the crew, and it will be left to lay there. Most times it takes some good Samaritans from the village to clean it up, and it's thrown right back in the bin, unbagged. You can surmise what happens from here. I'm heading to town today to see if I can't find some shock absorbers for this car. We have a Toyota dealer and a Nissan dealer, and I think we have a Suzuki dealer. Mitsubishi is represented here, but it's just, I think it's just a temporary office. They don't do any repairs or maintenance on vehicles. So I have to figure out if I can even get shocks for this car here without having to go all the way to Tacloban, which is almost 4 hours, 3.5 hours south of here. When we first bought the car up in Car World in Pampanga, while the car was under warranty, we had to take it down to Tacloban to have it all the servicing done, oil changes and all that stuff. If we had anything done elsewhere, it would have probably voided our warranty. So we had to go to Tacloban. But at the time, there was nothing here in Calbayac. We had no major grocery shopping or no malls here. So it was kind of a welcome trip. But now we have everything here. So going to Tacloban is kind of a pain in the ass. Pain in the butt. So anyway, I have to find some shocks. And I'm not even sure if just any old shock will fit on this thing. So I'm going to take it to a service center that I know that we've had oil changed at, just to see if they can recommend a solution, because these shocks in this car are 10 years old and they're getting bad. I can't hit a bump without having to need back surgery. I remember when I was growing up, my dad was a truck driver, and I helped him out a lot as a teenager working on his truck. But I remember him telling me, he says, if you ever buy a new car, the first thing you do to that new car is get rid of them damn 50-cent shocks they put on them and get some good $2 shocks. I can't never forget that. But he said that's one of the cheapest things they put on a new car is the shocks. And I think I believe him. Well, I stopped at the place that I used to take the car to for oil changes, and they're out of business. So, plan B. Plan B was to stop and ask some of the service stations, and nobody knows anything. So, auto supply. So the auto supply store is my best bet to find out where, if I can get shots, and who might put them on. Auto supply store number 1 only had front shocks, no rear shocks. So they refer me to this place over here. Got the typical needs we don't have. So plan E, F, G, I guess. Well, plan A through G failed. So now I'm just going to drive out to the Toyota dealership and see if they Last time I was out there, I think I pretty much remember they said they only work on Toyotas, so might have to drive all the way to Tacloban and get it done. We'll see. And then I found Goodyear. They said they could do the job. They just had to take the shock off as a sample, shop around town, find some shocks. So I took a trike to town, got some other things done. It wasn't before we had to stop for gas. The trike driver ran out of gas. But then it was back to Goodyear, and the car was still sitting there. They couldn't find its parts. So, and then I remembered a place called Prulab on the edge of town, out close to where we live. So that was my last hope. So off to Prulab I went. And come to find out it was the same process here. They needed to put the car in the shop, take one shock off. They needed the sample to shop around town. But they did assure me that they would get the job done. Sagutan. And while they worked on getting the shock absorbers replaced, I just took a little stroll on the back lot just to kill some time and see what I could find. And I did suggest that since I had to leave the vehicle there for a couple hours, if maybe I could use the truck here as a loaner vehicle. And he just laughed. But he did offer me a free car detail though. And not only did I have the back shocks replaced because they were rather proficient, I thought maybe I'd just go ahead and change the front shocks also. And while they did all that, I just hung around the front office and watched the ladies entertain themselves. I had the whole shop tuned into my YouTube channel.